WGSN-DB Going Solo Network welcomes you to award-nominated relationship internet radio talk show, Going Solo with Cece. Host Cece Schatz is a speaker, author, blogger, and the leading transitional divorce and dating coach with My Friends Connect and Going Solo Next Step. Now, together, let's join Cece.
Hi, this is Cece with Going Solo, and you are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And today I have with me Edna Sturgis. Hello, Edna.
Hi, how are you?
Great. I'm doing great. It's great having you on the show. You are a female dating advisor, and you have helped women really kind of find the right track of self-love, assessment dating, and really smart coupling. I love what you say about, you brag about recovering from stupid behavior with men. And I welcome you so much to the show. We love having you. And so let's start off on maybe telling us about how you kind of got where you're at. What have you been through in your life that has made you a female dating advisor?
Well, I've gone through 2 bad marriages, and after the second one, I just started to evaluate and not look at their faults, but to look at my own. And I came to the conclusion that my self-esteem was low, and instead of holding out for the type of man that I really wanted, I settled for what I could get. And then I've noticed with a lot of my friends and associates that women are being influenced by the media, which lowers the standards and moral standards of women. And they're emulating entertainers and celebrities, and that bothers me. And so I started my blog because I want to get women back to the point of dignity, pride, and self-respect when dealing with men.
That's excellent. I tend to agree with you somewhat because I feel that the media, and maybe it's the younger generation that's out, because they're so exposed to everything. And
exactly.
Yeah, don't you think they seem to have lost a lot of the old-fashioned values that we grew up with?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it does make a difference, and there's a lot of crime and violence, sexual behavior, all of that that's so easy for just young children to get their hands on.
Exactly, and it's not just kids, it's grown women that have been affected by it as well. I get emails all the time from women now telling me that they want to make some changes because they've lowered their moral standards and thinking that the way to get a man is to please him sexually.
Is this of any particular age group?
I get all ages, anywhere from 25 on up.
But here's the thing, Edna, men are very visual. So sexual attractiveness, things like that, they're very, very visual. So they are attracted to women straight up. So chemistry to them is more of not just the way we smell or behave, but really by the look. And so I think women, as you said, a lot of them on Facebook, I notice on Facebook, but also on online dating, a lot of the men that I talk to, they talk about how women will come and they'll showing all their cleavage and they're doing all this kind of stuff. And men really don't like that. Even though they're very visual, they want a woman that is of a higher vibration, right?
Exactly. A classy lady.
Mm-hmm.
And women now, but see, the media, all your movies and TV shows, I've gotten to the point where I only watch the news on TV because it's so disgusting the way women are behaving on TV, and it's so sexual that it's just disgusting. Women have lost all of their moral values and will do anything just to be famous, to make money, or to get a man. And I'm trying to school women back to old school rules of taking pride in who you are and realizing that women are the prize, not men. And you don't have to bend over to please men. Please yourself and love yourself first.
That's great advice. Great advice. The thing is if you build your relationship on just the sexual attraction and the lust, so to speak, that doesn't always last. And then what do you have?
Exactly.
Yeah, so you don't have anything.
And you're going from one man to the next and giving up your body, one man to the next. and they're getting a reputation because men talk.
Right. And they don't want to be with someone else that's been all around town.
Exactly.
I mean, they want to feel like they've been chosen. And we're the prize.
Exactly. I have a family friend. He's a friend of the family. He's 35, 36 years old. And he told me that if he could find a decent woman, that he would get married tomorrow. Because he said that women just throw themselves at him. He said that when he meets women, he said they are the ones who initiate the sex.
He must be hot.
He's very good looking. He's very good looking. But that's no excuse to lose your moral values. And we've got to understand that although men love sex, they want a decent woman, especially if you're talking about getting married.
Yeah, there's different types of relationships and different phases of relationships. And I think you want a relationship that's long-standing. It has to be built on, your core values versus your sexual awareness. So yeah, I totally agree with that. I really like what you're doing. So any tips that you can give us for any of the ladies out there? Do you have any tips for dating? Anything that you would suggest?
Yes, absolutely. First, to work on yourself. Get your self-esteem and your self-confidence up. And what I instruct my women to do when I'm coaching someone is to start with yourself. Look at your core values and set some moral standards as far as what you want from a man and what you need. And write it down and look at it every day. And then work on yourself. Look at your faults and anything that you can do to improve yourself, to make yourself the type of catch that you want. In order to catch a good catch, you got to be one. And so I work with my ladies, and we work on glamming up, getting ourselves all glammed up and making sure that you're looking great every time you walk out the door, and then working on your inner things that need to be corrected and learn to love yourself. So when you look in the mirror, you look at that woman in the mirror, you fall in love with her because you're proud of who she is. You're proud of how she conducts herself. And then get into the dating world. But until you rectify those things, you shouldn't date. Until you have self-confidence and self-worth and high self-esteem, you shouldn't be out there trying to date because you're going to get hurt.
Absolutely. Because that's what happens when you go from one relationship to the other relationship. It's
exactly. Women have to lose their desperation because a lot of women are afraid of being alone. And, you got to build a life for yourself, like I tell them, like I did after my divorce. You get out there and you get involved politically and civically and build a life for yourself and with your girlfriends and have fun and just have a very, very warm and friendly attitude. And men gravitate towards you. I'm 69 years old and I still get men flirting with me because it's the way I carry myself. Mm-hmm. But I'm done. I don't want another husband.
You never say never. But I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that when you carry yourself, when you're at that higher vibration, a higher level, you will attract at that level. And so just had someone send me a message on Facebook. She was talking about some of her friends and things like that on dating. And what she said to me is what she thinks she wants to say to them is, would you date yourself? Would you date?
Right. Absolutely. I agree. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so if you ask yourself that, so if you want to know whether you're ready to date or not, if you ask yourself, would I date me?
Right.
We're not talking about the way you look, but we're talking about the wholeness of who you are. Would you date yourself? Are you okay with who you are and what you stand for?
Exactly. And like Steve Harvey says, men like standards. And if you don't have any, you need to get you some.
Yeah. He's pretty cool.
And you need to stand behind them. And if a man can't handle the standards that you set yourself, then he's not the man for you. And women have to be really careful nowadays because there's a lot of crazy men out there now. You just watch the news and they're killing their wives and their kids and just all sorts of things. So you got to set your standards high and then not deviate from it.
I really do think, and what you've said is your self-worth. The more you value yourself, the more your vibration will raise, the higher.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're definitely on to something here. So what we're going to do, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, let's talk about how you got into this and how you're helping people, helping empowering women all around the world to really get in touch with their heart, get in touch with their soul. And so that's what we're going to talk about when we come back. Well, this is Cece with Going Solo. You are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We have with us Edna Sturgis, and when we come back, we're going to talk about relationships, empowering. She is a female dating advisor, empowering women to be who they should be so that they can catch the man of their dreams. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, this is Lisa Copeland, the host of the You Can Find Love After 50 show. You can catch my show on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, where we'll talk about how you can find love after 50 on the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network.
You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
This is Cece with Going Solo. You are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And with me tonight, I have Edna Sturgis, and she is a female dating advisor. She has a terrific blog out there helping to empower women to really change their lives and really bring up their vibration so that they can attract the man of their dreams. And so she has a new book that's going to be coming out, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So Edna, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
It's great having you. The first part of the show, we talked about really trying to get more in tune with yourself, understanding your core values, getting your vibration up, understanding really maybe the demise of some of your past relationships. Was it you? Did you do certain things that wasn't really the right thing to do? Did you build it on your relationships on sexual versus your core values? And so now what we're going to talk about is really being smart, assessing yourself in dating. And you have a new book that's going to be coming out in January. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, it's called Get the Man of Your Dreams, step-by-step guide in telling women step-by-step how to fall in love with themselves first and foremost. That's very important. Until you do that, you can't expect to find the man of your dreams. You've got to love yourself first. When you love yourself first, then you put yourself on higher standards, and it builds self-confidence and everything. And women with self-confidence do things a lot differently than women who have low self-esteem. So it's very important to do that. So basically, I will be their personal coach through my ebook, in instructing them step by step and how to date, and I call it assessment dating. A lot of women and men as well confuse dating with being in a relationship. I've had so many women to tell me that they'll go out on the first date and a man will ask them, are you a one night stand or a 90-day girl? And I say, well, you tell them that you are a love person, and that before you intend to have sex with anybody, you'd have to be in an intimate relationship with a man that you had strong feelings for, and vice versa. I personally think that women should wait until marriage. But I know a lot of people don't. But I get a lot of emails now from women of all ages who said they have decided to remain celibate until they get a ring on it. So I instruct them how to handle dates and assessment date, and not to date anybody that you don't admire, respect, and look up to.
So the gentleman made that particular comment. To me, I would spin it back to say, well, what are you looking for? What is it that you want? Because right there, it sounds like he's not looking for the same thing that you're looking for, and to me, the meeting is over with. So
he ended up remarrying his first wife because so many women, he said, are just so loose nowadays. But there are a lot of decent women out there. as well as there are some decent men. A lot of people think there's not, but there's a lot of decent men out there. I have two in my own family who are looking for a good relationship. But my book will basically take women step by step, and I'll be right there with them, helping them through every phase of meeting the man of their dreams.
So do you do personal coaching then, Edna?
And I am so dedicated to it. This is my calling. This is what God instructed me to do. And with my ebook, I have to charge because it's costing me. But I've kept the price down to $9.99. Women have my email address, and when they have a problem in their relationship, they're free to call me at no charge.
But you're a wonderful person. You know, you're following your passions, and you're really trying to encourage women to do the same thing. And so I really admire you for doing that.
Well, we've got to get back to the way we were. Women used to be so respected. We're not anymore. We're not. We're being exploited, and we've got to fight against it.
Absolutely.
You look on TV, you see women half naked, and women are being exploited, and that's not the way God put us on this earth to be.
But here's the deal. We have choices. We as women, we need to empower women to make the proper choice. And so women that are being exploited are making the wrong choices for themselves. I mean, maybe it's monetary, maybe it's they're trying to monetize themselves, but there again, we have to live up to the choices that we've made. And so I think empowering women to become their own person, have their own individually, their own mindset, I think that's great. I think it's a great thing to do. And it's not men versus women or women versus men.
No.
Your first comment was to learn about yourself, to be able to determine yourself.
And to learn to be proud of the person that you are.
Yeah.
When you look in the mirror, you see a woman, you want to love the woman that you see and be proud of who she is.
Because here's the deal. If you can do that, he is going to love the woman in that mirror, and he's going to be proud of her, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. It goes hand in hand. Sounds like it's going to be a great book, an absolutely terrific book. Well, now, where can we find this book in January?
On MissEdna.com.
On MissEdna.com. And then you have a great email that if anyone wants to email you, they can just go right to your site, send you a message right there, right?
At askmissedna@hotmail.com.
Okay. Ask Miss Edna. It's ask ASKMSEDA at hotmail.com. So you can email her, and she will give you some advice, some tips on being able to start the process. I mean, gosh, we're kicking off a brand new year here. So why don't we start the process of finding out who we are and learning how to love ourselves, right?
Right. And the main thing that I try to emphasize too on my blog is for women to stop emulating the people that you see on TV, the Real Housewives and all of that. It's just disgusting. And you see women that basically having sex on TV. I don't care if you are a movie star. Why lower your standards to that just to be a movie star? And we have to realize that we're a role model to younger girls.
Right. I mean, someday you'll have your own children that are going to look at you.
Exactly. And living with men and having babies out of wedlock and that sort of thing, it's just not good. It's not good. And what women need to understand is that men are very logical, and things have to make sense to them. A good man, because you got bad ones. I'm talking good, high quality men. It has to make sense to them to get married. Our marriage rates are down, way down in the United States right now. And each year they keep going further and further down. And that's because women have lowered their standards. They're cohabiting with men. They're having babies for men. All these things that should be reserved for a husband. You're giving a man everything. And he's logical. So if it doesn't make sense to him, as my mother used to say, why buy the cow when you're already getting all the milk you want for free?
Mm-hmm. Again, it's valuing you.
Exactly.
It's hard. And I've talked to a lot of women that have been in relationships that are coming out of relationships. And, a lot of the reasons they're coming out of these relationships is because they do have to value themselves. They do have to understand that you deserve better than the treatment that you're getting. And that takes some healing, well, certainly. Yeah. I think it's great what you do. Now, you do a lot of posting on Huffington Post and then online dating sites.net.
I've only had one of my posts that came out on Huffington Post is when one of their writers referred to several movie stars and Michelle Obama as MILF. You know what that is? She referred to Michelle Obama and other movie stars as MILF. You know what that means?
No, I don't. I never heard that term.
Okay, MILF is mothers I would like to.
Oh.
I thought that was very, very disgraceful to refer to a first lady like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a term that a woman should be proud of. I don't care who you are, movie star or first lady or whomever. That's a term that I just feel is totally disgusting. So I did a blog about it. And then another lady, came in and said, is Miss Edna on point or is she taking this too far? In my bio, there's a link to it if you can read it.
No, I agree with that. I think that what happened to just common respect of other people?
Exactly.
Yeah. And if you don't get that respect, you're in the wrong circle. I like what you're doing. You're sharing with some of these young women out there that need to understand that, and also older women, because you know what? If you're in a circle of where you're negative, where you're in with everyone else that says you're never going to find somebody, you're never going to be with somebody, you're never going to never, forget it.
Exactly. You can do whatever you want to do. You can have whatever you want to have if you have the confidence and faith in yourself that you can do it.
Right.
And you can't lower your standards. You got to hold up to your standards and don't be allowing people to lower them. Either people respect your standards or they don't. And just because one man doesn't mean the other one won't.
Well, if the one man doesn't, he's not the right man.
Absolutely not.
He's not the right man. And sometimes we go through you got to kiss a lot of frogs to get the prince. And so you got to meet people and just get through it. Yeah, I like what you have to say. I love what you stand for, empowering women. And also I think you empower men to be better than what they are. Be better than who you think you are. Look in the mirror and see who you are and be even better. So.
And a lot of us don't, and I learned this late in life, is that the greatest need of a man is to be admired and respected by the woman that he loves. And you can't fake it. Either you respect and look up to a man or you don't. And that was the case. I loved both of my ex-husbands, but I didn't look up or admire or respect either one of them because I didn't like their lifestyle. And they need that. A man needs that. So women need to make sure that you're with a man that you admire and respect and look up to, because he has to have it. And you want a man that you admire and respect, and quit settling. And women got to allow men to choose them, and they need to choose the man that they want.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, we're going to close the show with that because I don't think you can get any better than that, really. It's wonderful what you have to say. It's wonderful what you're doing. I think not only encouraging and empower women, you're also showing men that there's a need to treat women differently.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's a double-sided coin, and it's a really a good thing that you're doing. So I admire you for that. So again, let's talk about your book. It's an ebook. It's going to be coming out in January, around the 20th, and it's called Get the Man of Your Dreams.
Right.
And it's really very expensive. It's a downloadable book. It's not going to be $9.99. It's a easy read, so it's something that you'll be able to read it quickly, but gain a tremendous amount of knowledge to be able to move forward in your dating and empowering yourself. And I think that's really
very empowering, very empowering. And I have helped a lot of women based on the same things that's going on in this book. And they have went on to marry really, really nice guys.
That's great. That's great. Well, Edna Sturgis is a female dating advisor. She is a blogger. She writes articles and encourages women out of the kindness of her heart. So it's awesome. It's awesome what you do. And thank you so much for doing it.
All right. Thank you, CC. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you. Well, this is Cece with Going Solo. You are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We have great shows, great guests. I hope you'll tune back with us each and every week, and we'd love to have you. So just let us know what you think about the shows, and if you have anyone that you want us to bring forward as a guest, we would love to do that and honor that for you. So again, this is Cece signing off. Till next time. Bye for now.